Childhood trauma is such a deep and serious thing. It's so many things that all of us have encountered, have experienced that we feel ashamed of. But something that I want everybody to see for themselves when they look at me and then when they watch me, I want you to see yourself in me. Okay? Whenever I speak on videos where I'm exposing myself, I may come off as wild. I may come off as someone that's just like catching you off guard. But I'm speaking my truth. But it's way deeper than talking about sex. It's way deeper than talking about spirits. I'm really shining light on how deep trauma could lay layers on you. It could bring so many layers that it would take years for you to think that you got over something until another experience comes along, and then you wonder how far did you actually went on your healing journey. When I talked about my story, I talked about me being raped by my aunt. I actually found out I was the age of 4. I wasn't 5, right? And then me being molested by my stepfather. And when it came to my auntie, I really just normalized it. I really thought playing house and, doing all those sexual things was normal in our family. I didn't see the wrong in it because I was a child, because I was still innocent, even though I was doing things and acting out of habit. And those habits escalated to the point to where I'm having sexual intercourse at young ages, to the point where I had sex with many women, okay? And that spirit, that whatever spirit my aunt had, it was passed down to me. And I do give her grace because she was a child, and even though it doesn't make it right, I still forgive her. I forgive her because I want to know her story. But something about a family that has so much hidden secrets, so much hidden trauma with a lot of people, it creates a spirit of suppression. Because a lot of people in my family, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate as well, they suppress so much of their own trauma, their own emotions, their own feelings, that they never went to God about how can they overcome something. In fact, times where they say that they did, I truly believe that they already made up in their own mind what they wanted God to say. I believe that they already made up in their own mind what they wanted God to do, or what they thought God wanted them to do about it. So instead of really hearing God out and allowing him to really pour into them and heal them fully, they just did what they thought was best, which was sweeping underneath the rug, and forgetting about it. And then the trauma happened to me. Because whatever spirit is in your family, it's going to get passed down and get passed down and get passed down until it finally gets to the generational curse breaker. And mind you, when I was a kid, I didn't always know I was special. I did not always know that God was doing something with me, or God was doing something for me. In fact, I really thought everything was happening to me and not for me. It wasn't until I surprisingly went to God. I went to God because it was times where I wanted to commit suicide. It was times where I didn't even want to be here anymore. It was times where I thought my non-existence was something that was better than what I was experiencing anyway. Especially whenever you encounter such trauma when it comes to a sexual thing. Trauma definitely does open your eyes at a young age, and age isn't wisdom. Okay, wisdom comes with the experience. Now, something that the trauma also taught me, it was like a blessing and a curse. It definitely was. Although I am not happy that something happened to me, I'm just grateful for the experience that it taught me. Okay, because something that it did teach me was that I truly personally believe that women should experience themselves. They should experiment themselves to where they know themselves, because it was a sense of confidence that was given to me after getting my innocence taken away from me. And even though my innocence was taken away, it's like, I'm not a very religious person, right? But I grew up in a Christian family. And one thing I remember about the Bible was how Eve did her little thing, right? And how once after Eve did what she did in that garden, her and Adam developed a self-awareness of themselves where they knew that they were naked and they felt the need to cover up their bodies and cover up themselves. And then when God came to them and asked them why they're covering themselves up, they basically told on themselves, and he knew that Eve did something, because something that sex does give you a level of awareness. Not only is it energy transfer, not only is something that, people will shame you for, especially when you do it at a young age, and especially when you grow up in a religious family. Something that it did to me when I was a kid was revealed to me spirits. It showed me who are these spirits in my life and what are these spirits around me. It helped me be able to identify certain individuals and help me protect myself around certain individuals, because I knew what the spirit of lust looked like. Even though I was still a child that had a certain level of innocence to where I didn't really know what I was doing, what was the reason for it, and what was the meaning by it, what was the meaning behind it. I just knew the spirit of lust. And I knew it well enough to know what it means when a man look at me a certain way, to where I could say, I don't want to go by this person's house. I don't want to be around this person. I was able to have boundaries at such a young age because I knew what certain eyes meant when it was looking at me. For men and women, I was able to identify it even when it wasn't me being targeted directly. I was able to protect so many other children, so many other people, just by letting them know, like, hey, don't go over there. Hey, don't do that. Because I was able to identify what are these spirits and what are their intentions, And I want anybody and everybody to know that I'm really not a woman that's out here fucking, disrespecting herself. But I did have a whole phase. And I do want to talk about the difference between a whore and a whore phase. A whore is someone who has the mentality for it. A whore is someone that already married to the idea and the thought and the decision in their mind that they're going to do something that they already know is degrading, but it's something that they are accepting, right? And they're already made up the decision to just do whatever action that's related to it, right? I do not judge these women. I do not judge these individuals, because I know these individuals too have a story. And although my story gave me something where I don't have that type of energy, I did have a horror phase. And my horror phase gave me the spirit of lust because of my trauma, yes. But I had to also realize that as a young lady, as someone that's getting older and getting wiser, and I want to have a daughter one day, right? I want to have a family one day. I want to be able to have these spirits conquered to where it doesn't have to get passed down to my son or my daughter, right? Whatever God bless me with. I want to be able to lead by example, not only for my generation that has yet to come, for the bloodline that I have yet to create. I also want to help deliver other families as well, because there's way too many secrets in these families. There's way too many hidden secrets and people being protected. It's the people who needs to be revealed that's being more protected than the victims. And that's something I cannot stand by, right? Yes, my mother is now aware of what happened. Yes, my mother is someone that is okay with being with the man who molested her daughter. But that's something that she has to deal with. And yes, I forgave her to a certain extent. I'm someone who have family members who, to this day, I can never look at the same. And I had to have conversations with other family members to remind them, like, hey, we come from a different generation. And in this generation, something that I'm going to bring to y'all's awareness is that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconcile. You don't always need reconciliation. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean you need to be back in my life. Just because I forgive you doesn't mean that you need to be so close to me again. It's certain things that you could forgive but never forget. And just off of that, that's wisdom. Just because you're not forgetting something doesn't mean you're not forgiving something. And never let anybody tell you what forgiveness should look like for you, because no one knows what that made you feel like. No one knows the thoughts that it gave you. No one even knows the spirit that it gave you to conquer on your own. So no one should have the power or the ability to tell you how to feel, what to think, and how to go about anything that's involved with you. Okay? Because the reality is, we all sin. We all have something that we're not proud of. And whenever I speak so boldly and I speak so confidently and I say out loud with my chest, what are the things that I did that was wrong? What are the things that I did was good? Because I'm somebody who's able to recognize that social media is really a platform that's used to just glorify the good. People want you to see all the beauty, all the good things, but I'm someone that's not afraid to show you the ugly. I'm someone that's able to be like, you know what? I've experienced things of myself to where I'm not so proud of, but it happened, but shame shields solutions. Shame will make you not learn a lesson and have to repeat that lesson over and over and over again because you are too afraid to acknowledge it. And don't let the spirit of suppression manifest in your own life to where you can't be delivered by something, to where you can't even forgive yourself of something because you're not letting go of it. Don't let it continue. Let it stop with you. Make it stop with you, okay? There are certain things that we got to speak with our tongue. I am learning every single day how to deliver certain things, how to say certain things, because God knows that I just want to be the woman that He created me to be. I don't want to be nothing different, because I've learned the hard way that any single time that I step away from God to create something on my own, it's not going to manifest in the way that I would desire it to be. And if anything, He's going to take it away from me to where I have to start all over again. So learn from my mistakes, right? But then also see the beauty in the way that I'm unfolding. My podcast is called Unfolding with Nakayla. And it's because Nakayla has been through some things, and these things weren't pretty, but these things was happening for her and not to her. And I want you to unfold with me because we all have some things to reveal of ourselves. Life is all about experiences. And to have a safe place to be able to have those experiences and share those experiences is the way to grow for real. So I want everybody to know that you're loved. I want everybody to know that you're safe, and there's always someone that is just like you. Thank you.